black church, and not all black churches, but they become the tail light instead of the headlight. The black church has to become the headlight again. But the two most powerful forces in America has always been the black church and the black woman. So we have to, again, take our power back. That's what has to happen.
That's what has to happen.
That the civil rights movement, which is the greatest movement since the movement of Jesus Christ and his 12 disciples. When Jesus was killed, they only killed Jesus. They came after his disciples, but they left many of them alone. In the civil rights movement, they killed everybody, Dr. King and everybody that was in that movement. So in 12 years, we changed the course of this country from 1955 to 1968, 13 years. From Emmett Till to Rosa Parks to the Montgomery bus boycott. We changed the course of this country and the course of the world. And so there had to be a counter movement to counter our movement, that the Illuminati, those who understood what it was that we were doing inside of this country, but others, of course, the people who sat in darkness that saw a great light and understanding that black people in America were going to change not just America, but change this entire world. So the world is still waiting on us.
Still waiting.
Waiting on us when they see that it's not about just electing a black man as president of the United States, but it's about transforming this entire country, this entire world. So our energy and our spirit has to be released, and that's what our young people are waiting to see. But in terms of the New World Order, of course, the scriptures is often talked about the New World Order, you know, in terms of, again, for unto us a child is born, you know, and this one should be called the Wonderful Counselor, and that he would bring a government of peace. Well, who's going to help him to usher in that government of peace, except those of us who have been the peacemakers inside of this country? We taught the peace to everybody else. It's just today, because we stopped teaching what we were taught to others, then those in the community have turned on one another, but it didn't happen in a vacuum. After I murdered your leaders, after I murdered your light, after I murdered your illuminated ones, our Illuminatis, then they could bring this false Illuminati. Then they could bring this negative satanic Illuminati. So, you know, we have to take back our light, take back our power. And I think that's where the black church comes in. But it's having those who can harmonize with the young people today. And because our young people, if they don't see it in the church, they're going to look for it in the street. So they have to know that it can be in the church. And the way they come, they may not always come dressed the way we want them to be dressed. But we have to be willing to have, I think, that third eye open and be able to feel our young people. And then they'll feel you and see you.
You know, our children know if you're real or not. You know, they'll tell you, keep it real. And so what we need to do is to keep it real when we're talking to our young folks and meeting them where they are. Some folks don't know what a 40 or a blunt is. And I'm saying, how can you be teachers? How can you be counselors? How can you be principals of schools and you don't even know what's happening? Even some of the folks in the churches, the first time you hear rap music, you want to turn it off. You need to turn it on and turn it up a little louder so you can understand exactly what it is that our young folks are listening to. So then you can flip the script on them and you can use it as a teaching tool when you're dealing with our young folks. And they'll say, oh, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, because we've been listening too. When we talk, one of the things we talked about the New World Order and also the communities. It's about divide and conquer. It's about divide and conquer. If I turn the black man and the black women against each other, they have no respect for each other. And our children are watching. And trust and believe, our babies are watching every single thing we do. And if we're not modeling for them in the right way, they're going to pick up some of our bad habits, if not all of them. And so I have no respect for this sister here. I don't have no respect for that brother. That's why it's so easy for me to take a gun and shoot you in the head. I think that when we're talking about the New World Order and also the media and looking at Facebook and looking at social networking, Twitter, and all that stuff, they know where you're at. No sooner as you post a picture, they know exactly where you are. That's all part of the Big Brother's watching. Looking at all the cameras on the street corner, that's Big Brother watching. Looking at your passport and having a chip in there, and they know exactly where you are. Every time you put your ATM card in that or swipe it, they know exactly where you are, what you're buying. Facebook is going to come out. I'm not even on Facebook. Facebook, in about 5 to 7 years, it's going to shock the world because they know everything about you. They have this thing called a timeline. Everything from when the time you got on there all the way to the end. And that's what I'm talking about in this whole New World Order piece, because Big Brother's always watching, and they watching for a reason. And it's about the haves and the have-nots. Yeah. And that's what's happening right now in America.
What is your worldview? That's the marching order. The world needs to know, what do you believe and why do you believe it? And then why should I? That's it.